Hi, improvers, and welcome back to the Be Better Bit by Bit podcast. I'm your host, Nishit Goyal, and the creator of this unique self development platform called Be Better Bit by Bit, where our philosophy is small and consistent improvements. Friends, we are into this series of episodes where I am talking about time management. I have always believed that time is the biggest asset of all. An asset that cannot be multiplied but which can be divided. The more efficiently you divide it, the better it yields you the results. You can't sum up time, but it can be easily subtracted if not taken care of properly. Why do you and I struggle with managing our time? Because we all are asking too much from ourselves. Because we are letting everyone else other than ourselves enjoy the biggest asset we have. I'm not asking you to become selfish and spend time in a self mold. I want you to respect time more than anything else. For yourself and everyone else too. In the past episodes, I spoke about converting your dead time into alive time, about tracking your time using the 168-hour tool, and how a smart to-do list can help you keep your priorities right. Today, let me explore another simple tool that can help you manage your time well, and it's a tool which I use frequently in my life. And the tool is declare your most important tasks to the public. Yes, it may sound daunting, and I have heard a lot of demerits about this tool. I have read that there are scientific researches that prove that this method doesn't work. Friends, I am not a scientist, I am not a researcher. I am someone who reads, who finds something out, who then adapts that tool, experiments with it for a long period of time, and then I talk about it. I might not publish my to-do list on any social media platform, but I do publish my long-term goals to my close friends and my colleagues, and that's how I go public. Researchers say that such an approach acts as a proxy. That is, the person who declares his or her goals gets lenient towards its actual implementation. But what I have experienced is that it puts an onus on me, an onus to be true to my own words, to my own promise. If I can't stay true to what I have committed publicly, I will never be true to my long-term goals and towards the public. Recently, I was reading a book called 59 Seconds by Richard Wiseman. He says that he conducted a few large-scale scientific studies a few years back to understand the psychology of motivation. He tracked more than 5,000 participants who were attempting to achieve a wide range of goals, aims, or ambitions, including losing weight, or gaining a new qualification, or starting a new relationship, or quitting smoking, or embarking on a new career. All the participants were confident of doing well on their respective goals at the start of the study. At the end of the research period, which lasted from 6 months to 1 year, participants were asked what worked for them, and then they reported their level of success. At the end of the period, only 10% of the participants had successfully achieved their aims and ambitions. Richard says that they asked 10 questions to the participants. And these questions were either commonsensical or they were based on the techniques which are most talked about in the self-help books. And the most talked about self-help techniques were focusing on a successful person or a celebrity lifestyle and thinking about them, or thinking about bad things that can happen if you fail, or suppressing your unhelpful thoughts, or relying on your willpower, and finally fantasizing about a great life. But all these techniques failed. There were 5 other key techniques which, when used by the participants, showed a clear positive difference. Number 1, making a step-by-step plan. I talked about it in my previous episode, that is making a smart to-do list. Number 2, letting others know about your goals. And friends, this episode talks about this exact technique, and the scientific study by Richard Wiseman proves that this works. Number 3, thinking about good things that will happen if goals are achieved. Think about it, and then you increase your probability of achieving that goal. Number 4, reward yourself if you achieve the goal. Number 5, record the progress, track the progress. And I talked about this a few episodes back when I talked about that 168 hours technique of recording your time. And that creates self-awareness, and that's a wonderful tool to improve your time management skills. Richard says successful participants were far more likely than others to tell their friends, family, and colleagues about their goals. Keeping your goals to yourself eases the fear of failure, and then makes it easy to avoid change in life and then drift back to your old habits and routines. People increase their chances of success when they go public. I'm not saying it's 100% tool, but it increases the probability of success. Go public. In a series of studies carried out by the University of Plymouth, people were taken to the bottom of a hill, and then they were asked to estimate how steep it was and how difficult it would be to climb. When accompanied by a friend, their estimates were around 15% lower than when they were on their own. And even just thinking about a friend when looking at the hill made it seem far more surmountable. That's what happens when somebody is accompanying in your goal. So go public. So improvers, if you wish to improve your time management skills, and if you wish to increase your chances to achieve your daily goals, declare them publicly. You need not go public with every small goal, but do enough to let your friends and colleagues know about your plans for the day or your long-term plans. It will help you be more focused and productive. If that sounds too daunting, okay, prepare a smart to-do list or a simple to-do list. Click a photo of it, share it with your team, your spouse, your close friends. Done? A simple sharing process will help you stay productive and respect time throughout the day. As I am saying time and again, time management is more to do with your perspective towards time than with the tools or techniques of time management. It's all about respecting time, yours and others. And soon all other techniques will fall in place. Time management and building habits are a few of my favorite topics to work upon and experiment upon. I will be speaking more about time management and how you can stay productive and focused through your days. So stay tuned. Join me in the next episode of Be Better Bit by Bit. The podcast is available on Spotify, JioSaavn, Google Podcast, Spreaker, and various other streaming platforms. Be Better Bit by Bit. My debut book is out now on Amazon as a paperback and in an ebook. So grab your copy and please leave me a feedback. You can follow our platform, that is Be Better Bit by Bit, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, where you can view and experience a lot of exciting stuff on self-development and the unique challenges and methods we use to bring small and tiny improvements in your life. So, till next time, bye-bye.